Hello, my name is Jorge Pedret, and I want to share about what I'm struggling with right now. And I do this because I see my own box and strategy of how I relate to the world and how I'm relating to these videos that I'm making. And it's like my journey, my path of where I'm at, and how I'm creating clarity for myself and for others through putting my shit on the table and through going through these alchemical processes of death and rebirth. So I have in my field, I'm sensing these fantasy worlds where I live of disconnection or of putting up a show, and I'm seeing how that's impacting me, and actually like creating a space from me and the others. And for the last year and a half, I've been on a journey of learning how to feel my feelings in a way that consciously feel my feelings. I've been there. I started with a map. I started with a map of four feelings, because before there was no map for feelings. My feelings were just this blurry map, in a way, like it was a blurry map that I could not see. There was anxiety, depression, love, hate, fear, uh, joy, like all of these different things, depression, jealousy, all of them like hanging around in my field, and I didn't have the distinction to see it. I didn't have really the capacity to get any sense about it. I could feel them. I could feel them like when I was depressed. I could feel when I was with anxiety. I could feel my anger, even when I was like angry or like annoyed. There was more like annoyance, so a mix of anger and fear, and I didn't have like the capacity to do anything with this. It was just the feelings were there, and I could do sometimes some things. I will go often and smoke cannabis and tobacco, and that will numb it down. That will like change it. That will like change the chemistry inside of my body. I will get that fixed, and then it will change. But then the things that it will happen again, like it will just be a cycle of these feelings and emotions. And often before that, like I will change the chemistry with food. I will change the chemistry with exchanging sexual energy with others in an unconscious way, through sending messages or through making phone calls, or through having these engagements, just for the purpose of changing the chemistry of what I was feeling, because I was not okay with what I was feeling. So then I didn't have this distinction of this clarity about my feelings until I was presented with these four feelings, which is the theory of it is very clear. And this research came from somebody that was in a, I think it was like an insane asylum or like a mental health program, and she was researching her feelings in from this place, and she she was faced with this challenge of feeling and thinking at the same time. I think this is where it all started. She was faced like, okay, you gotta get to a place where you can feel what's happening here and think at the same time, instead of like being one or the other. So she went into this research and she started discovering these different feelings, and she arrived to this uh, map, a map of herself of the four feelings. And the theory behind the four feelings is that there is only four feelings, and then the rest of the feelings, they get created in combination from two of these feelings, for two or three of these feelings. And the core feelings, this is like the primary colors. When you mix red and yellow, you get orange. When you mix red and blue, you get purple. And so in the same way, when you mix the certain feelings, you get another feeling. And so the main feelings are that she discovered are anger, your anger, your rage, and I'm gonna like say them slowly so that they can land in the reader, because these are big territories that are inside of you. Your anger, there is your sadness, which is more soft, more gentle, more connective, more caring, compassionate, more tender. There is your fear, the territory of fear, which is these things that you are scared about. There is a territory inside of your emotional body that is about fear. When you're stepping a little bit outside of your comfort zone, you're gonna start sensing at least a little bit of fear, and different percentages, because all of these feelings that I'm sharing you, they can be felt from 0%, where there is like 0%, you're not feeling that feeling, to 100%. So imagine somebody that is 5% angry is very different than somebody that is 55% angry. And in the same way, with the fear, like somebody that's like 3% fear, that has like some sort of like small fear, to like 80% fear, where it's like freaking out, like completely scared shitless. And the fourth feeling is joy. So we got anger, sadness, fear, and joy. According to modern culture and to what we have been trained, and even some new age belief system, they say that joy is the only good feeling. That the rest of them, they're bad feelings, and we should avoid them. We should not work with them. We should not be in them. And this creates like a huge limitation about the totality of your being. Like, let's say that this is your being. That woman, she did the research and she mapped out this emotional body, and she recognized that these feelings are inside of the human experience. And so in my studying of this map, I went into each one of these feelings, into a spaces of practice of each one of these feelings. There was a rage club where I went into only the rage. Just feel the rage, pure rage, sadness and fear and joy. Just put them at the side for now. And you get to work purely with the energy of anger. And then you go into another space where you get to do the same thing, where you get to work purely with your sadness, only with your sadness. Like, of course, like there is no denying of the other feelings in these spaces, and the purpose is to research that specific feeling. And then you go to another space where you research just the fear, just work with the fear, and like see what the fear is like, get the what it feels like inside of your experience. And same for the joy, going to a space where you're like there to explore purely the joy and the lightness of being. And so going through these exploratory spaces, you start gaining these distinctions inside of yourself, that you start recognizing more easily when one of these feelings is alive. And one of these feelings, each one of them, they feel different in your body, in your experience. And so in going into these spaces, you can start recognizing when there is anger, when there is fear, when there is sadness, and when there is joy. And from these spaces, there is like so much that gets built. Like the definition starts becoming more and more clear. It's no longer this blurry thing that's like things are moving around and I'm being moved from here to there, but I actually have, like I can notice, like, oh yeah, like I'm angry and I'm scared, and I'm not seeing the difference between those two, or they're mixed up. And then through having this clarity, you can get more clear about you're navigating your emotional body. And there is lots of distinctions that come from here, lots of distinctions to share, to like even like increase further your resolution. This is about gaining resolution. You're gaining resolution about your emotional body. And when I say resolution, I mean, like, it's like the pixels. You get like more like smaller pixels so that you can see more and get more distinction and definition about what's actually happening. So this is it for right now. I started this as a way to put the shit on the table about my performing, about my performing into the camera, and like creating this sort of distance between me and others. And and I get lost. I get really lost because I want to share myself, and there is so much, like I'm not creating these like blocks of spaces where I'm sharing what, and there is a block that I'm missing. There is a space that I'm missing of sharing something very authentic, of sharing something that is not a show, sharing something real, something very real of humanity and of my experience, and share it with you, so that you can also get more possibilities about like what can you do, or like possibilities for your life. From like, this is called non-linear possibilities. It's not like something specific, but something that sparks inside of you that you say like, oh, that gives me this possibility. And I encourage you to go ahead with that possibility. Pause this video whenever, and if you're listening, just pause it and then write it down. Go into that possibility and explore that place for yourself. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate this space and this time for being here, sharing myself with you. Bye for now.